Ah oui, ah oui. Bonjour, je m'appelle the Shermanator, and that's pretty much all I can remember from my French classes that I took not too long ago. Well, not 4, 5, 7 years ago, which is actually quite a long time ago, which was basic French. But today's video, or at least today's Men of War Source Code 2 video, is all about the French in a GSM mod. I promised I was gonna do this a while ago now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sneeze into the microphone, almost, and I'm also going to. Well, it's really annoying sneeze. It's not wanting to come out. Okay, what I'm gonna do in this video, because I'm sick as fuck, so you might hear me cough or sniff or sneeze once in a while. But basically, in this video, I just want to show. In this case, the French and their, well, that's a TeamSpeak. The French and, you know, their units. So I'm not gonna go like through these guys in detail. I mean, I guess they all, you know, a rifleman is a rifleman, a machine gunner is a machine gunner. But we can take a look at their guns real quick. And then we'll take a look at especially the vehicles. The French have a couple of interesting vehicles. I'm using the test mode, and I'm pretty sure that I have also selected all units, so this should be all units that the French can get. The French can only be played in 1940, which makes sense because the French were, of course, well, the combat for France started in 1940 and they capitulated in 1940 as well. So that's why, well, a part of France. I mean, I'm not here to give a history lesson, but France split up in two parts, which was the part that was occupied by Germany, and then a quite big southern part, which also held control of all the overseas colonies, like in North Africa, for example, and I think also like in like modern day Vietnam, and the Vichy government, or the Vichy government, which took over in the south of France, then was a collaboratory government which worked together with the Germans. I might have just totally fucked up my history, but I'm pretty sure that's 95% correct. So, you know, enough talking. I'm gonna take a look, and let's take a look where I spawn. Okay, so I should have took off this, I guess, but you know, let's go. So what we have here first is the tank crew with a very weird. It looks like a devil's. It looked like a dead's head marking. Okay, it's not. It looks like a brain with flags on the side. It looks really weird, but this is just your average tank commander, armored or tanks crew, armed with a pistol, obviously, which really sounds cool. The guns in GSM are really awesome.
Oui, capitaine.
So we're gonna move on to the conscript, which is basically, you know, which is called resistance. In this, it has a pretty old. As you can see, pretty old. I think that might actually be the date it's been made. This is a 1907 rifle. These guys are just made to you know, fill up gaps real quickly. Nothing really special. Carries one grenade and some ammo. The rifle, of course, has 2 bars of accuracy. Has the weird French helmet, and I'm pretty sure that little spike on top was designed like to not that much deflect bullets, but deflect like if rubble were to fall on top of it, it wouldn't hit the helmet itself. It would hit the little spike, and then it would fall off to either side. At least that's what I've been told a while ago. Every time I bite someone, I'll just like send them over the map. I'll just turn the map off as well. Makes it a little bit cooler looking. So we're gonna get the machine gunner, which is a pretty interesting guy. I've already seen this a couple times before. That gun is the size of his arms. Like, it is literally super small. Look at the recoil too. It looks pretty funny. It looks like a very small, crossover between an MP40 and the grease gun, the M3 submachine gun that the American engineers and non-frontline units used. The grease gun M3 is a really cool looking gun too, but this one, it looks really weird. It just looks like a gun a gangster would like put in his pocket, basically. Again, comes with a little couple of rounds. Comes with a Molotov cocktail as their AT grenade. Machine gunner. The picture is that of the Type 99, I'm pretty sure, but this is actually the FM 2429. Now, this does remind me of the Czechoslovakian build Bren gun.
Chargez!
So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the thing. It could be. It also sounds the same, so I guess it's actually that.
Oui, capitaine.
But yet again, machine gunner, very slow firing though. Has a couple of sandbags. Well, I just sneezed, so I wasn't talking for 2 seconds. Let's see, we have an elite SMG, which looks like a Tommy gun in the back. Has the same SMG as the normal SMG, but this guy actually has TNT, 4 grenades, smoke grenades, and 2 Molotov mixtures, which is actually a really good unit. But this has the same machine gun
Oui, capitaine.
and the same kind of helmet. Moving on to the elite MG, we have a very cool looking, if you ask me, mitrailleuse 1931. Now, this guy, of course, just comes with like actually an ammo drop too, which I'll just throw over there, I guess. Yeah, ammo drop on that machine gunner is really good, but this thing, this is to me, it's basically, if you ask me, it's an MG42. But look at that accuracy. Look at the number of rounds he has. That was amazing. And he also, it comes with some AT, well, not so much AT, but you can like try and throw them like on a tank, and it'll probably severely damage it. Because in GSM, a Molotov cocktail will severely damage a vehicle. As you can see here, this is awesome. These crates come with so much ammo, so it's definitely worth it. Bring up one of these guys if you actually need ammo for infantry. Common engineers speak for themselves. They have low. Have a very bad rifle. I can't. This actually might be an 1886 rifle. I'm not sure. Someone in the comments will probably let me know. But this is basically just, you know, your average miner that every nation has, which comes with AP mines and stuff like that. Same guy, but now with AT mines. Same story. Sappers, same story. Meant to take mines out of the battlefield instead of placing them. So he has a mine detector, which looks interesting. He also has a TNT bar to, you know, TNT up the area. A very cheap anti-tank, well, not very cheap, but a very cheap anti-mine laying thing. But to be fair, people in online games don't really too often use minefields. Here is the British-made Boyce anti-tank rifle, which is a pretty good rifle actually. It fires relatively quick, and the sound it makes is amazing. Accuracy-wise, it's decent, I guess. Wow, it just blew the fucking house up with 1 round. But yeah, it comes with a couple of grenades, especially 2 Molotovs again, which is really good for anti-vehicle duties. I'm really getting sick. Jesus, sorry guys. Okay, so here we have the rifle grenade guy, which basically is
Oui, capitaine.
the not squadron leader, but the squad leader of the British in the vanilla game. This guy comes with 25 plus 1 in the magazine, actually 26 of these grenade launchers, and you know, it's a pretty expensive unit for 50 manpower, but damn, does this guy pack a punch. Like, you can actually range this thing quite far. I mean, I think it was 60 meters, wasn't it? Or 50 then. It's 55 meters for a grenade launcher. That's really good. It's a very good anti-infantry, like let's say there's a couple of guys hiding behind like this little sandbag wall, and you can't get close enough to grenade them. You just use a guy with the grenade launcher. Flamethrower, again, speaks for itself. It's just a flamethrower. He's the standard flamer that every nation has, but in this case, he's wearing a French uniform and a French, I'll say it again, weird helmet. So the sniper, again, same story. Sorry. Giant scope, a couple of camouflage nets, a pistol to defend himself with as well. And a pretty cool looking rifle, which is actually pretty old if that's the actually date it was made. Radio operator, again, you know, makes sense. This guy is a machine gun, SMG, and one round per time. What's this thing called again? Not a 1 round per time smoke launcher. The range has been increased by 10 meters in GSM, so keep that in mind if you're playing multiplayer. You can actually have 10 meters more range. While it only fires 1 round and it's not accurate, it fires a lot more. It fires a bigger barrage, and it's not really useful for like taking out like a tracked tank, as you can see. But it just flattened this entire area of the map, basically. So it's really good when you want to deny the enemy a spot on the map. For example, a flag point when infantry is rushing towards, doing that on a flag point will probably render it uncappable for a couple of seconds. Here we have the officer, which comes in a car. Really funny, cool looking car. Officer which looks like he's wearing Patan's hat, which I think was one of the higher commanders in, or if actually,
Oui, capitaine.
I probably shouldn't say what it was because I'll get it wrong. But he looks like he's wearing like Marshal Patan's hat, which is from those French officer caps. Comes with binoculars to spot hidden units, and has 2 of these awesome heavy ammo drops. Now, we can quickly go through these squads. This is your normal cheap squad, kind of like the guerrilla / recruit squad for any other nation. Tank crew comes with 2 tank crew, makes all sense. A French rifle squad, not really anything that needs explaining here. Most of them have rifles. I think I saw there's one guy with an SMG, there's one guy with a machine gun, and the rest of them have rifles, which is a pretty good filling up unit, especially in early game. There's actually, yeah, there's only one guy in the okay. So there's the French assault squad, which is basically your normal run-of-the-mill assault squad, which comes with riflemen, SMGs. There's a machine gunner back here, which is not something that I get at vanilla. They don't get a machine gun in this assault squad, but in GSM they apparently do. Moving up, we have the French assault infantry. Basically, these guys are armored those amazing kind of MG 34/42 machine guns with a good accuracy.
Oui, capitaine.
You get these assault infantry, and you get 2 AT rifles, which is a very good stopgap idea if you are being attacked by light armor, and you want to make sure that you can stop the enemy from reaching your location without, wasting too much points. Only like 200 points, without wasting like too many points on a tank. Sappers, they come in their own kind of vehicle. Sapper truck, as you can see here, comes with a lot of items, but the most important part is, of course, units come inside your vehicle. So I'm gonna just drive us up a little bit away from that position. And I must say, I love this truck. I think it's actually, I was gonna say it's a British truck, it's actually a Renault. What we're gonna do, we're gonna unload it here. No one seems to be driving it though, that's quite OP.
Oui, capitaine.
Alright, almost everyone is out. Going to drive this up a little bit more. As you can see, there's common engineers, there's a soldier, of course, driving the vehicle. But these guys are basically just like armored mines in both AP and AT, and there's a lot of fortification material in the truck waiting to be used. Could put these guys in the truck and then move them away. So having dealt with all the infantry, we'll take a quick look at all these trucks we can just do in one go. Here we have the Citroën U23, which is basically your standard resupply vehicle for infantry, able to move infantry around. Looks pretty cool. It's pretty slow, but I'm not sure why that is, but it's pretty slow, but it carries enough ammo for infantry. Let's take a look. So that's one. And I think here, this is the truck, which basically is this one, but it comes with, that's awkward. It comes with a lot of stuff, actually. Now, that's something that hasn't been balanced, because you actually get guys in this one, which you don't get with this one. And then there is the artillery ammunition. All speaks for itself with smoke grenades and normal mortars. And here's the ammo for tanks and 50 caliber machine guns. Moving on to the machine guns, anti-aircraft guns and tank guns. We've got the Hotchkiss. Wait for these guys to move around because they're really loud for some reason. Hotchkiss M1914. It looks like a Star Wars gun. If it looks like a real gun, it's gonna like power up in a second. But the thing sounds very weird. We can give him some camo if we really wanted it to. It's not the best machine gun because it fires pretty slow, which is of course an issue when you're a machine gun and you want to spray as much fire down range as possible, i.e. MG42 or a Browning Radical, in my opinion. But it's still not a super bad machine gun. Here's the 13.2mm anti-air gun, which is basically the flak 20mm, or like, the this is, or the Orlikon. This is the standard, light anti-tank emplacement. Comes with 900 rounds. It's actually, it doesn't use 20mm ammo. It uses heavy 50 cal ammo, or I guess 13.2mm ammo then. But it sounds pretty cool. It's double barrel, and you can see if there was infantry in these houses, they would be gone. So this is a really interesting unit, which comes even with sandbags and a little camouflage tree net thingy, making this a really, really good anti-infantry / anti-town. As you can see, it can just shred through. I mean, take a look at this building. At range, it takes a longer time to destroy a building because not all the shells are in the same part. But you can see, I'm just taking this building apart pretty darn fast, and the reload time is not too bad. So we're gonna move that out of here and move on to the other one, which is this is your normal run-of-the-mill 20mm. Pretty sure this is just a licensed build Oerlikon. Have it fires very rapidly. Let's switch to HE and reload this and show you how this plays out. That's something that will shred infantry in a second. So that's a really good unit, but it's just normal standard British Oerlikon basically. Here's the first anti-tank gun. It's a 25mm anti-tank gun. Not expecting too much of this. It comes with a sandbag wall and a camouflage thing. This have kind of some sort of camouflage pattern on it, but this is just a very, very small gap, small gap, stop gap measure against like light armored cars and maybe like very early tanks. But don't expect this to kill a King Tiger. Moving on, 47mm. SA 1937, same thing, comes with all the materials that you expect of an AT gun. Fires a way bigger shell. It's just your average AT gun. This is probably designed to take out Panzer IVs and Panzer IIIs. And last but not least, the 75mm cannon, which looks like an actual cannon. It's probably, if it's made in 1897. It's pretty interesting, and people are inviting me to play Man of War. But basically, this is your run-of-the-mill AT gun for heavier tanks. So, like, you know, Tigers maybe from the side. I guess you could just like compare this to every other heavy AT gun in Man of War, which is designed to take on heavier tanks. Artillery, run-of-the-mill mortar. Not going to spend any time on this. You get some smoke grenades, you get some HE grenades. Nothing special here. Just 81mm mortar. This is a pretty interesting piece. It fires both AP and AG. It doesn't fire in a salvo, but it's considered artillery. As you can see, you can load HE in it. And I'm actually, if I can show you, I can actually hit like way across the map. And by across the map, it kind of fires in an arc. So it's kind of a middle. It's kind of a middle idea. I think it's more like a howitzer because it fires the shell in a kind of an arc, but it doesn't have a super long range. But it can also fire at 8p. So let's say you're being attacked by a Panzer III. This thing could probably switch to an AP shell, and if it's pretty close, could land on top of the Panzer III, killing it, which would be a good thing. Now we're getting to the heavier guns, which actually come on like this weird kind of tractor. But we'll get to that tractor vehicle. Here's the Canon, the 105mm 1913 Schneider, which goes super slow. Let me actually get this up there. Turn it around. So you come with this kind of APC looking thing with a very weird machine gun combination on it. Not sure what's going on there, but that's not really going to do anything. But this cannon is really useful to take out, of course, positions of the enemy. What we do now, we'll just aim it here. It has smoke and HE shells. It's being moved. The barrel is huge. This is a pretty old gun, as you can see. And then it's just your normal run-of-the-mill, except for that sounder, run-of-the-mill artillery piece. Same goes for this. This is exactly the same thing, but this thing is heavy.
Oui, capitaine.
That's the only difference between this one and this one. This fires 105 shells, and this fires 155mm
Oui,
shells.
capitaine.
Have to see stop firing. There you go.
Oui, capitaine.
You're actually gonna stop firing or no? Yeah, stop firing. Jesus Christ. Okay, what's going on? I'm not sure what's going on. It's glitching out. It's just awkward. Okay, anyway, so we have these two howitzers.
Oui,
This is
capitaine.
actually not a howitzer, sorry, this is an artillery piece. These are both artillery pieces. They are pretty big, as you can see, especially this 155mm. They're also pretty old, and they're like the checkers wheels are really bad, like really oldly made. I'm gonna grab this 105mm, get it out of there. We'll use this other one, the 155, to fire here, so you can see the effects in the distance. Don't expect, you know, anything different from this artillery to like other artilleries in the game. It's just your normal run-of-the-mill artillery gun. I'm not sure why I can't carry this, but maybe if I double-click there. So moving on with this one, this is an awesome cannon. It's also a 105, but yeah, this is so big. Look at that size.
Oui, capitaine.
It's insane, if you ask me. Insane in the membrane. If it can actually stop firing, that'd be
Oui,
awesome.
capitaine.
Are you gonna stop firing? How many shells do you even fire? You fired 6 shells every time, okay. Gonna get this guy out of there as well. And now we're gonna see how far this thing can fire. This map's pretty big, and I can fire across the entire map. I'm gonna fire here. It's a howitzer, so it's made to shoot. You know, it's made to aim up very high and use an arc to reach the target. And the shell blast, as you can see, is enormous. I just felt like multiple trees. There's pretty giant holes in the ground here. Definitely made to dislodge an enemy from a position which is not close to from the position. You can see one shell landed right here. Another shell landed over here, so it's not very accurate, but then again, artillery, especially howitzers, are not made to be accurate, they're just made to kill. So we got our artillery down, wait for this guy to stop firing, which probably is right now.
Oui, capitaine.
I'm surprised this little car can tow that entire gun, but then again, who cares. Moving up to the carriers, this is the same carrier as this, it's used to carry, well, it's used to carry stuff, I suppose. Can I put infantry in this? Let's see how many guys we can fit in this vehicle, so that's actually worth knowing.
Oui, capitaine.
There's 3 guys in it, and we could put an extra 3 guys in it as well, making it a total of 6. Pretty interesting to know if you ever want to use one of these vehicles as a quick stopgap, you know, APC. Now we come to the awesome stuff. Look at this. This is armed with a machine gun on top, which you can do a full 360 degree. I love this little like French thing on the back. And there's also a back machine gunner, which basically means you can run the fuck away and then just use your back gunner, which you actually do 40 kilometers an hour. This car, you can use your back gunner to mow down any infantry that tries to sneak up on you or tries to get, you know, behind you with a grenade. But then again, not really interesting because it has no armor whatsoever. And then it actually has some armor, but it's, you know, it's not gonna stop tanks or whatever. This is the first vehicle that actually is pretty cool. This is a little APC which goes very fast, 41 kilometers an hour, but it's armed with an AT rifle and now the machine gun is like, but the AT rifle is okay. We're firing smoke grenades now. That's the only point. But this AT rifle can do a full 360 degree around the vehicle. As you can see here, I'm just doing a 360 degree, 360 with the turret. I can fire very rapidly. Of course, you need to roll up to 5 shots with the normal anti-tank gun. Probably it's just the boys it is. But look at that. It's a very good way to counter tank. Like, for example, the Russian BA-11, the German 222s, and the 223s, and even the Pumas will probably have a hard time countering this thing because it's very fast.
Oui, capitaine.
And it fires that AT rifle very quickly, so you can put a lot of fire down very quickly at a pretty long range. And I'm pretty sure the AT rifle in GSM is actually something that will do 70 meters. Let's take a look. It will actually do 100 meters. That's awesome. So you can definitely use this as an early counter to, armored car spamming opponents. Here we have the AMC Citroën Congrès Model 1929, armed with a 37mm, which sounds really weird, this turret. A 37mm anti-tank gun, and a coaxial machine gun. It looks very weird, and by weird I mean it's awesome looking, but it looks very weird. Crew of 3, Pretty fast. It's still 20 kilometers an hour. No armor whatsoever, but it's still, you know, you can use this to, I guess, assault. It's like a hot gun. You can use this as assault a position. But once you're being shot at, you're basically dead. But this has tracks, so it gives it a little bit more protection against stuff like small arms fire. So the track cannot be damaged by small arms fire, which is a good thing. Which could of course happen all these before. Pardon me. Bringing up basically the French version of the 20mm armored truck, except for the fact that this is actually a 25mm armored truck. But you know, it's the same like with that for the Japanese kind of truck. This is really awesome. It can fire both AP and HE, and HE is destructive. That hits the infantry unit, it's dead. They're pretty fast actually, 36 kilometers an hour. It's really, really good. Moving up to the last armored car is the Panhard 17.8, armed with a 25mm, probably autocannon, pretty sure. Semi-autocannon, armed with both HE and AP. It comes with a 20mm in a coaxial. HE is raw damage, as you see, and a machine gun is just there. Barely any armor. It's not too expensive to use, so it's actually a really good early or well, mid-early unit to use. Decent armor. It's not going to withstand. Might be able to withstand a AT rifle shot some places, but it has tires, so it's vulnerable to small arms fire. Moving on to the first tank. This tank might be known to people playing World of Tanks as the very first, I think, French tank, or was it the American? Oh no, wait. Oh no, the American tank. No, to the very first. Oh, now I'm actually confused. All I know is that this tank is not armed with any cannons. It just has a machine gun. It's not very fast. It only does 8 kilometers an hour, but it is so cheap. It's cheaper. It's cheap. It's as cheap as this little car. So for no money, you get a 22mm armed, very slow tank. But the thing is, it has a machine that can turn to 360 degrees. And yeah, we just want to have one of these awesome FT-17s. Moving on to the AMR 35 ZT1, armed with the 3.2mm thing I talked to you guys earlier about, which is the Hotchkiss machine gun. Fires very rapidly. Able to destroy buildings with ease. Very cool. 50 kilometers an hour. This thing is going to be speedy as hell. Look at that. Oh my god. This thing is impossible to hit with direct control.
Oui, capitaine.
So look at how this works. Just having that like drive by, wow, was with a lot of damage in those few seconds. FT-17, this time armed with a 37mm, no coaxial, still same speed, still armor, same armor. But this time it's only 220 points. It comes with 37, which is not a bad gun. It will damage, it will kill armored cars with ease. It's still not very fast. Same thing as the FT-17 there. The Mark I cruiser. First tank-looking tank the French actually get. 260 manpower, not too bad. Armed with a Vickers in both these little machine gun turret towers and one right there next to the main gun. Pretty 25 kilometers an hour, just your average run-of-the-mill light tank. Moving on to the FT-75BS. This is the same thing again, a little less armor, same speed. But look at that. It's a very small artillery piece. Now this is not going to, well, be a tiger killer, but it's basically a very early SPG. It will not move very fast, but it will do the job if you want to have a stopgap measure to kill infantry and you want some armor. Moving on to the Mark III cruiser. Again, tank, this time armed. No more of those stupid machine gun turrets. No armor, but it's armored to 40mm, plus it goes 40 kilometers an hour this time. So it might not be the best armored one, but when this tank gets up to speed, it will actually do 40 kilometers an hour. So you can see right there, it's pretty fast at that little open stretch there. The Renault R35. Very well armored for a light tank. 45mm of armor, has one coaxial 137mm SA gun. Fire this once. This is just a normal, pretty slow tank, so 20 kilometers an hour isn't that fast, but hey, it will do its job. Moving on. to the last of the light tanks. The Hotchkiss H39. H39 Hotchkiss, decently armored, better than as good as a Renault, but has more armor in other places as well. Armed with a 37. It's not the same gun. It's armored with 37. It's armored with 1 coaxial. It's a little bit faster than the R35. And again, don't expect wonders from this fighting like Panzer 4s and 5s. Coming on to the medium tanks with the Matilda Mark 11, equipped with both smoke launchers. Oh, hang on. Both smoke launchers, which this tank looks really weird, and a 12.7 Vickers heavy machine gun. Now, that sounds weird. The 12.7. Sorry, that's just a 50 cal. But this tank actually has 60 millimeters of armor. So seeing this thing come towards you is actually really scary. Because what it will do, instead of firing smoke, it will just spray a lot of 50 cal rounds at you. And the weird thing is, you can't easily kill it. Not even with like some mini AT guns, because 6 millimeters of armor is a lot of armor. Moving on to the Char D2. Actually the other tank that's not very fast, only 12 kilometers an hour. I think it's a more tank or something similar to that. The Char D2, 47mm AT gun, 2 machine guns, 1 in the hull right there, 1 in the coaxial position right there. Pretty decently armed actually for a medium tank. Comes with a 47mm, it's pretty fast too, 30 kilometers an hour, which is not really bad. Moving that up to the Samoa F35, 20 kilometers an hour, 47mm, carries 1 machine gun. People are asking for that. That's awkward. This S35 is probably the Panzer 3 / Panzer 4 of the French. Moving on to the only heavy tank they have. This is the Renault Bataille B1 bis. The Germans in GSM can get this tank as a flamethrower tank. The French get this tank as a normal tank, armed with a 47mm right there. Now, there's also, I'm not sure how to select that anymore. Okay, there's also a 35mm in the hull, and there's also a machine gun in the coaxial position. This tank is armed reasonably well at 60mm, which is quite good for you know, a heavy tank. It goes 20 kilometers an hour, which is not the fastest, but okay, it's decent, and it carries still 2 main guns and 1 machine gun. And last but not least, we have a tank destroyer assault gun for the French, which is this little 47mm armed Lorraine 37L. No armor. The crew is quite exposed, but this is basically a very small, not very small, very cheap, and I'm not sure if it's reliable, but a very cheap assault gun, which you can use as a kind of hidden tank destroyer to ambush medium tanks coming along the road. You'll be able to make sure that you can be able to surely dent them with this 47mm. Wow, that happened. Anyway, I guess we're done. I hope you guys enjoyed this little this little extended look at the French. Hope you didn't really mind me being sick. I mean, I really hate being sick, but you know, I really wanted to make a video that was about this. So make sure you download GSM. Link will be in the description. You actually have to download 2 things for GSM. One is one from ModDB, which is the main mod, and the other one is the multiplayer patch that you can get from the Steam Workshop. Make sure to look at both of them in the description. Hope you enjoyed. Au revoir. C'est là le Shermanator, and I probably fucked up that last sentence. Hope you enjoyed. Ciao for now.